This is a story about voter fraud, actual voter fraud. We found a case of voter fraud in the United States of America. And it's somewhat of a sad story. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's a sad story because it is the person who is going to go to jail for this. She's likely to get deported because of this. She's an immigrant, and she was a resident, but not a citizen, and she did not have the ability to vote. Her attorneys say that she didn't know that. All she saw was all of her documentation that says she was a resident. Here's the irony of the story, and I want to pull up a picture of this individual. The irony of the story is that out of the 5 elections that she voted in, all 5 elections she voted for Republicans. All right, so she's from Texas, and this is according to the Washington Post. Rosa Marie Ortega, she's 37. She's a resident of Tarrant County, Texas. She was sentenced on Wednesday by a jury. In 2015, she applied to vote in Tarrant County and was marked on her application that she was not a citizen, and her application was rejected. 5 months later, she tried again. So I guess she was listening to some messaging, right? She had to get out to vote. The second time she marked that she was a citizen, it was accepted. She's voted in 5 elections since 2004, and each time she only voted one time, right? She wasn't going, like they claim. She wasn't going precinct to precinct. She voted one time in 5 elections since 2004. But every single election that she voted in, she voted for the Republican Party. In 2012, she voted for Mitt Romney. In 2014, here's the greatest twist of irony. She voted for Ken Paxton, a Republican. Just had to point that out. A Republican who is the Texas Attorney General. This is the same guy who is ultimately putting her away. And ultimately, she will be deported after she serves her time. So one of the few cases that we've ever found in the United States about voter fraud is a person who voted with the Republican Party every single time. And one of the people she voted for is actually the Attorney General that is going to imprison her as well as deport her when her time is over. Now, again, I'm not mocking the individual because perhaps according to her attorney, she didn't know. Right? Okay. Unfortunately, in the United States, ignorance of the law is not a defense. So she is going to spend time in jail, and she's likely going to be deported after the fact. According to her attorney, he said she had, quote, she had no ulterior motive beyond what she thought mistakenly was her civic duty. So it is, not to mock her at all. But the irony, once we finally find a case of voter fraud that they swear is an epidemic, it's a person who's supporting the Republican Party. Fate, it would seem, is not without a sense of irony.